You know this song, Mark?
Sounds like Radar Love.
Does.
Oh, it's the Ramones.
Yeah. Rock and Roll High School. Bring it up before we get into the sports. I want to meet this kid from Baldwinsville because he's in some serious trouble because the laws have changed and we're in 2024. But he, here's what he did. I'll play the news clip of what he did, and then I'll tell you a little bit more of what he did.
11, a student at Baldwinsville's Baker High School being charged with impersonating the building's principal, caught after sending a fake resignation fax with his own cell phone number on the cover sheet. Baldwinsville's police chief confirming it all. The News Channel 9 says the teen also created 2 fake school staff email accounts. This teen now charged with 2 counts of criminal impersonation, released to his parents. The case now referred to family court.
Okay. So this made me laugh because I didn't even know you could still fax today. But right? You have to probably go to where? Staples or Kinko's or something like that?
Yeah, you do it right through the computer.
Yeah. So why would he have a cover page then with his own cell phone number on it? That's why I'm wondering he must have. That's why I was thinking he went somewhere.
Yeah, I don't understand the cover page.
Yeah, that was the only thing I figured. They probably said to him, "What do you want on the cover page?" Or you fill this out and we'll fax it for you. That's why I thought there was a cover page. But you're right, you can fax from the. It's called an email, isn't it? Basically,
It is basically an email.
I mean, you could email, but there's fax.
See, there is
I have
fax.
an app for
You can receive
when I send
faxes.
them all reports into them every month. I use a thing called Cam Scan, and it scans it. But what it does is it brightens it, it cleans it up. You know, if it picture doesn't look right,
I have something similar to that.
Yeah, and then I can just
whenever I'm
email it from there.
Yeah, and you can email it off,
Yeah.
right? Or you can load it up into somebody if they've got a portal or something like that. But this kid also, so he gets busted for that. He basically made the principal retire.
That's awesome.
That
Sounds like something you would have
I
done.
know.
Well,
It does like something you would have done.
but this is why I have a soft spot for this kid. But then he made 2 fake email accounts, one of them trying to get another kid in trouble. Like saying this kid did, like I'm a teacher and I caught this kid doing all this stuff. And they realized it was a fake email. And I forget what the second fake email account was, but I go, that's pretty good. I like that kind of a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, usually the wise asses, they're fairly smart kids. They just,
Was he hurting, really?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No, the principal should almost appreciate it. The principal probably wants to reach. Oh, I'm pretty sure that Baldwinsville is where the superintendent got drunk a couple years ago and body surfed at a dance.
You are correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, Matt. Where was that guy when we were in school?
Yeah, no, I want to see
Where was
that.
that guy?
I want to party with him. Party at your house afterwards.
I think he got drunk and body surfed. That's what the
That's
superintendent of the Baldwinsville schools.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's probably a job that's paying you $250,000 a year.
probably at least.
I mean, they're kind of a nice suburb of the Syracuse area.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right. Somebody sent me this today. It is a parody. I should probably throw it up on the screen just so you can kind of see. It's supposedly someone from the Texans front office bringing C.J. Stroud. Let me see. I got to get the airplay back on there. C.J. Stroud introducing him to Stephon Diggs. And it is pretty funny. I'll give you.
I think I saw this.
Did you
TikTok.
see this?
Is it the guy that does the? It's the same guy, but he wears a shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So you
This
already
is
saw
great,
it.
yeah.
I don't know if Mark saw it. Let me see. I have the audio.
TJ, we got you a new receiver. Meet Stephon Diggs. What's up, man? Happy to have you. Excited to see what you can do. Yeah, whatever. As long as you get me the ball, we won't have any problems. I mean, we'll get you the ball for sure, but we've also got Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. You're not going to be this, clear-cut #1 guy. Yes, I am. What? Or I will cause problems. Lots of them. Why did you bring him here? He's been one of the best receivers in the league for years. I thought he could help. Yeah, but did you even talk to him? His attitude sucks. I didn't think I had to. Let me call Josh. Hello? Hey, Josh, it's CJ. CJ, is Diggs things up yet? Well, yeah. Actually, that's why I called you. What do I do with him? Hell if I know. Why do you think we traded? He's that bad? Yes, he's that bad. In fact, if you leave him alone for too long, he'll chew up your couch like an understimulated husky. Man, we just got that couch. Good luck, though. He's a hell of a player if you can keep him happy. It's just really hard to keep him happy. Great. This should be fun. I want more targets. The season hasn't started yet. Hey, CJ.
Is he that big of a drama queen? I'm sorry, it's a little behind there, Mark, but you'll see where he's biting on the gut. But you get the basic idea of what the bit was. But I mean, was he that big a pain in the ass?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we're starting to see that more and more. I mean, look,
He left.
if they want you, they would have kept you. You started I mean, like a mushroom cloud at the beginning of the season is how Tim Graham, when we talked to him about it, he said the guy started like on fire and then just fell off at the second half of the season.
It's unheard of for any team to get rid of a top 10 receiver that's under contract. That's how much of a dickhead and cancer he was to that team. So I mean, it's unheard of how that went about.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about him, that the Bills are like, fuck it, we'll eat this.
You know who the last receiver was that did the same exact thing, and nobody knew it because the team did a great job of keeping it quiet.
I got to think this has to be a Patriot.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Ben used to fight in the practice
did.
sessions in the video room. None of that has surfaced yet about Diggs, but you have to believe there has to be something behind that. But you never saw it on the sidelines. You know, in the Cincinnati game, they fought, they yelled at each other, whatever. You never saw him yelling he wasn't getting the ball or anything. So I don't know if he kept his quiet.
Why's it got to be a Patriot?
No.
You son of a bitch.
Hang on a
would
second.
never allow that.
What I was saying was, because he said they kept it under wraps. Oh, look, you guys had some, I mean, you had a guy who was accused of fucking murder, right? Hernandez. I mean, they kept things under wraps. It was kept in the team. All this stuff, like there was hardly a leak when there was ever anything between Brady and Belichick, and clearly there had to be at some point when Tom decided that, you know, I'm going to go somewhere else to seek my fortune or win again.
You saw the news yesterday, right?
I did not.
Tom said he's not against receiving a phone call.
Yeah, I know.
Would that be the biggest FU to Belichick?
Yeah. I think it would tell you a lot. I think it would tell you an awful lot, don't
It'll be
you?
interesting, though, because if he goes in as an ownership with the
He
Raiders,
can't.
I don't think he can at that
can't.
point.
I think there's something with that ownership that keeps getting messed up somewhere.
Well, they've been putting it off for a long time.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I don't know. He can't come back.
He's
He
ready
wants
to play 3 more
But he wants to
years.
come back. No, he wants to come back
know
at
he
the
wants
end of a season and just take a team into the playoffs that has got an injured guy. And it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
That would be kind of
Listen,
cool.
I'm a Brady fan. It's not
I
that
thought
easy,
it would
Tom.
be kind of cool to see that.
It
though.
would be.
Yeah.
I've never seen
piss a lot of people
Matt
Oh, God, would it matter?
cry and pray for Dak to get hurt when the Cowboys are 10-6.
Fuck it. He doesn't need to get hurt. Bring him back now.
Yeah. So that was the thing. Is like I didn't realize what a cancer he was. But as you're saying, Antonio Brown, you're right. You never heard anything until he filmed. Remember? And that was against team policy for him to film in the locker room, and he live streamed whatever was going on. The team speech.
It was the post game or something.
It was the post, yeah. But it was like I think they didn't even allow the press in there at that point. There's usually a time where they hold the press back. Coach talks to the team. You're not supposed to have any phones or anything out. He filmed that. He live streamed it, and then, but then he went to New England. Why was that cut short with New England? What happened there?
He was bad shit crazy.
Was that over the girls, the artist or something?
There was something he was accused of.
Okay, I couldn't
'Cause
remember.
I think it was like 3
because
weeks.
Brady was the one who pretty much advocated for him to come to the
Yeah.
team, and I thought,
He stayed with Brady in his house.
And he got accused.
Yeah.
He got accused. It was one of those accusations that was
and I think
against
they
him.
cut him, right?
They cut him right then and there.
yeah, but he had played a game or two,
I think he played 3.
3 games.
That was a couple times where they called the police on him in his neighborhood. That was when that happened, too. There's video of him like going off and slamming things and throwing things at cops and yelling at them. And I think that's when the Patriots said, enough's enough. We got to go.
Then Brady gave him another shot in
Yeah.
Tampa.
In
Did
Tampa.
he walk off halfway through
Against the Jets, right?
Yeah, he took off his shirt and everything. His pads.
That was great.
Yeah, I got to believe Diggs has got to be
it
the
was
same
interesting.
way.
I hope, yeah, not that bad though, right? Not
don't-
that bad.
I wouldn't have
Not
thought
that
Antonio
bad.
Brown was either, though.
No, I wouldn't
thought
have.
that.
No, and he seems like he's
Back
really.
then, I was like, wow, he's great. He's got his head on straight. He doesn't bitch all the time. And turns out he was bitching more than anybody in the locker room.
But are these guys batshit crazy, or they just been hit in the head so many times it's that CTE
I
shit?
think it's
Well, they
probably-
say it happened when Burfitt hit Brown.
Yes.
Remember? They said that's when it started because he got laid out in that game. He was knocked out. And they said that's when it started mentally with him.
I don't think Diggs has ever been blown up like that, but I'm sure he's been hit a
No,
few
sure.
times. I'm sure
Yeah.
he's probably had a few
Yeah,
concussions.
I'm sure
The
too.
CTE thing will come out now with OJ too, so that'll be interesting because they're going to check his brain.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see because there's, somebody I think is going to come on the podcast tomorrow who still believes he didn't do it and wants to talk about why they believe that. Somebody else thinks that there's a letter somewhere, much like the letter that he wrote when he was allegedly going to commit suicide. That there's a letter somewhere that confesses everything and as to why he did
Well,
it.
his
or-
Former
I still
man.
think it was like Peter said. I think it was that he's covering for his kid.
See, I thought he covered him for Jason too, but now I read something the other day where his former manager has come out and said, "Listen, he was there. He hired somebody. He went with the guy to the scene. When him and the guy got in a fight that died, he took off running. That's when he got cut. He ran away from the scene, and this guy just finished the job. I don't know why he'd go with him, but supposedly he went with the guy. He hired him, and he wanted him dead. And then I don't think they expected him to be there. I think they just thought Nicole was going to be there, and it was going to be an easy deal.
Because that was the thing. They said that
this
Goldman
guy
put up a fight, and OJ had no marks on him.
Right.
Yep. They said he got into like a karate stance against the guy. That's how far this manager went to say he knew all this because OJ had told him. And, once OJ was, twice he was charged, and you can't be charged again in California.
Right.
But yeah, it was interesting reading the article. And this is a former manager, has nothing to lose or nothing to gain at this point. No one's going to believe him anyways. But everything he made, it just made so much sense.
There was the talk of why did I think in the trial it came out that Goldman had gotten into the karate stance, or he had?
Did it? It's so long ago.
I don't either, man.
It's
You could
possible.
probably tell me, right? Our memory, But oof. Well, I'll segue because it could go one or two ways. Former Steeler, now Patriot, Juju Smith-Schuster. Had his crank out on Snapchat.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody saw that. He's sitting in the car.
It's the first catch he's made in 3 years.
But he's sitting in a car. He's got $33 million over 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It's $11 million. It's not too bad.
It's not too
catches
bad
in
for a
that
receiver,
33.
right?
No, but he's not that good either.
No.
He's old.
Yeah.
This is why Stephon Diggs, after next year, will be a Patriot, because he's 3 years past his prime.
Well, the Patriots never did that. They were known for getting rid of guys before they got past their prime for so many
They
years.
never needed a big name at receiver. They had the best
Yes.
quarterback.
Yeah, and they had another receiver that a lot of people thought could. Randy Moss was a I don't want to say a head case, but he was a bit of a problem. Remember, he mooned and he did all the people
That
didn't
was
like.
still a great celebration. That's the best touchdown.
It is a great celebration, by the way. That's why the NFL's no fun. What's wrong with it? It's not like he really pulled his pants down or anything.
He didn't at all. He did not.
NFL's no fun.
That was funny, you have to admit.
You can't moon the Packers fans, but they could wing a snowball at him.
And think about, that year with Moss and Brady, their offense was unbelievable. That's the year they went undefeated to the Super Bowl and lost.
They did and lost in the Super Bowl.
I mean, they just
I don't think Moss ever won a Super Bowl with them, did he?
He never won a Super Bowl.
He was only there the
all.
1 year, right? He didn't stay the second year. He was gone after that.
No, I think he was there a couple years.
Yeah, I thought he was there 2 or 3, but I really did well with them, but I didn't think ever won a Super Bowl.
I don't think he won a Super Bowl at all.
No, he never won a Super Bowl.
Wow.
No.
Man. No, he got mossed. That's what happened. All right, so the white Bronco, that OJ, the infamous chase, that low-speed chase, they're looking to sell it, and they're hoping to get at least $1.5 million for it. Now, I don't know when it comes to cars. I don't know why it seems too creepy to me to want to buy it. But I'm curious to watch this. I want to find out if when the auction is and who does buy it.
I want to buy it, but I want to have Race and Randy look it over first, make sure there's no structural issues with the engine.
So it's a 1993. It had 3 owners. His former agent, Michael Gilbert, and 2 friends of Al Cowlings, who was behind the wheel. And they planned to cash in. They were planning to cash in because this is the 30th anniversary of the chase. So they were planning to cash in anyway. But the 3 owners said that they received the last offer they received for the Bronco, and it's been on loan to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Who even knew that you could go find it? They got offered $750,000 for it. In 1996, Cowlings agreed to sell the Bronco for $75,000 in 96, so 3 years later, to Startifacts, a celebrity memorabilia shop in Las Vegas. Then check this out. They found out that the company was going to rent the vehicle to a company in Los Angeles called the Grave Line Tours that visited famous graves. They were going to reenact the chase with the Bronco and then take people to Nicole Brown Simpson's grave.
I'm sorry, it's brilliant.
It's
wrong, but it's
fucking horrible.
brilliant.
It's horrible, but
You know people would pay for that?
Yes.
I'd pay for it.
The trial hadn't even taken place yet, they said, and we didn't want people thinking anyone associated with OJ did this. So they refused, they wouldn't sell it. But could you imagine?
That guy would be a millionaire easily in a year.
Oh my God. Like, I laughed when I read it. I burst out laughing and I go, I don't know that I could go. I don't know if
You
I
have
could
all
go and
B
do
actors
it.
like Kato Kalin in it.
Yes. Kato would have a job finally. He was on. He did radio shows. He did
Yeah.
everything. He was on like KTLA. It was a talk station out there. Did you remember? Well, you grew up here. You guys both did. Do you remember Larry Wax?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Larry Wax did mornings on a top 40 station. He was doing afternoons out there. So it was
Out where?
in L.A.
Oh, I thought he was in in Baltimore.
He ended up in Atlanta.
Okay.
He ended up in Atlanta, and I don't think he's in radio anymore. But
I think he
I was gonna
died.
say, he can't be young.
I think he died.
no, he didn't. Come on.
I don't know why I think that, but
All right, I
I do.
don't either because I never really met Larry. Larry and I had a phone interview. He was looking for a producer, and he called me up and said, "I want to hire you." And we talked for about an hour on the phone, and it didn't really go much further than that. I wasn't real interested in going to Atlanta, but he had a show there, the regular guys, but they were out in L.A. and they wound up blowing up the station. But I think the lineup was Stern, Kato, and then the regular guys.
Oh man.
Yeah, with Larry Wax. But Kato Kalin had his own talk show. All that from being nothing. He was living in the bungalow in the backyard or whatever. The fuck. But that would be amazing. A slow speed chase, and then you go to Nicole. I mean, could you imagine being her family though?
Yeah, that was
How
yeah,
like
it
how
does
horrible.
suck for the
It's
family.
like the whole thing is like just freaks you out. Just absolutely freaks you out. All right, we'll take a moment. Mark, on your scale of creepiness, 1 to 10, you have to tell us what you deem this next story.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get to that next. But first.